So you've just started lifting weights, or at least you're thinking about it, but you don't know where to begin. In this video, I'm going to break down everything that a beginner needs to know when it comes to weight training, from exercises and form to sets, reps and recovery. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap to start your journey in the gym. Firstly, well done for making the leap. I do feel like everybody should incorporate some sort of resistance or weight training into their routine. The first thing we need to discuss and consider is you need to have some kind of training routine or training plan in place. The worst thing you can do is just go to the gym and just train whatever you feel like training, and just go in and saying, oh, I'll do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You need some kind of structure in place. The best thing for you to do, and what I'd recommend, is to split your weekly training routine into either an upper body day and a lower body day, or even a full body routine. So don't go and try and find the most complicated splits that a bodybuilder would follow, because you're completely new to the stimulus. You're just going to ruin yourself and overtrain. Now, you have to understand that you're new to this, and at first your muscles will be quite delicate, so they're going to be easily progressively overloaded. So I'd recommend just stick to the basics. Definitely do not go to the gym and train chest for an hour or follow some kind of bro split, because I can guarantee within the first 20 minutes your chest is going to be fatigued. You're probably better off just doing pushing and pulling movements, very basic compound lifts. Now, because you're a beginner, you probably don't know how to perform some of the more complex lifts like the squat, the deadlift, or even the bent over row, where you have to keep your posture straight and your spine straight. So what I recommend, the first couple of weeks, maybe just doing more machine exercises or isolation exercises where it's easier to get the correct form, and then as the weeks go by you can start implementing some of the compound lifts. Now, it's very common, and I see it a lot, where people will start the gym and they'll just jump straight into the deep end, and they'll think, right, I'm going to train every day, I'm going to get my nutrition in place, and they'll just go full steam ahead. But they don't realize that their body's completely new to the stimulus. So within the first week they're going to be extremely sore. They'll probably continue to train, and then they're just going to end up burning themselves out, and they're going to feel pretty terrible about it. So especially during the first couple of weeks, it might be better to just do 3, maybe 4 max sessions per week, where the primary focus is on form and just getting the body used to training. You don't want to be going to the gym for 6 days in a row training with very high intensity resistance sessions, because you're just going to burn out. I'd also recommend that as you're new to the gym, your main priority should be to focus on form and to actually feel the mind-muscle connection on each rep. I see far too many beginners in the gym start trying to push as much weight as they possibly can. Trust me, form is the most important factor, and if you're going to push really heavy weight, you're just going to increase your chance of injury. A good tip is to slow down the movement, especially on the negative, and then on the positive, really focus on that squeeze. So it might be better for you to go a bit lighter the first week or the first couple of weeks, just to really focus on the form and to get that mind-muscle connection. Also, don't be afraid to set up your phone and film yourself as you do your set, or even as you're doing your set, look in the mirror to make sure your form's good, because more often than not, what you think looks good in your head, your body isn't actually doing. Now let's quickly touch on nutrition and recovery, as this is probably just as important as the training itself. You want to make sure you're eating enough calories to fuel your workouts, and ensure you're having a high protein diet. So if you don't know, it's 2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight, or 1 gram per pound. So for me, for example, I'm 80 kilos, I'll have at least 160 grams of protein per day. I usually go a bit higher, probably like 180, just to be on the safe side. Also, keep your meals balanced, and I'd recommend, what works best for me, is to have the majority of your carbs around your workout window. And then there's sleep. This is where your body really recovers and you'll actually build the muscle. So if you're sleeping 4 to 5 hours a night, you're not really putting your body in an optimal state to build muscle. I'd recommend, if you can, to sleep for 8 to 9 hours a night. Just by doing this, say if you're sleeping for 5 hours currently and you up this and you start sleeping for 8 hours, you'll see a huge difference in your energy levels and the amount of muscle you can build. Finally, I just want to say this: don't expect overnight results, okay? Those influencers or people you aspire to look like, they didn't build their physique in a few weeks, okay? It took them years. So your main job as a beginner is to just stay consistent and stay disciplined. Now, the first couple of weeks, first few weeks even, you're going to be very motivated, so it's going to be easier. But that motivation will fade, and that's where discipline comes in. If you stick at it long enough and you start seeing results, it will start to become addictive, and that discipline does become easier. So just try and stick to it for as long as you can, and then once you start seeing results, it'll be easy to stick to. So that's your beginner's guide to weight training. Remember, form first and ease yourself into it. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.